Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. This is going to be part 2 of our Piececool Black Pearl build. Last time around, we got the lower deck and the upper deck completed, and these were an absolute pain to put together because of the scale and the amount of detail that goes into them. So that's both kind of positive and negative there. But I'm looking forward to getting more of it done here. I'm hoping we'll be able to get a lot more done, possibly even finish it off in a part 2, but we'll have to take it as it comes and see how it goes. For now though, I'm gonna shut up and get right into the build. All right, here we have the completed black pearl, or I should probably say as completed as I can make it black pearl. This is actually not fully assembled. There's only a few pieces missing. The pieces that are missing are some rigging. Basically these incredibly thin pieces of metal like this that are supposed to be ropes that attach from some of the rigging to the hull here, or worse, to each other. I made a very serious and significant attempt to get this rigging on, and I'm afraid it is just not within my skill set to be able to accomplish. It is incredibly hard. A lot of it has to do with the aesthetics, which we'll get into, but also the scale. This piece is significantly smaller than I had anticipated. And this is the large version of the ship. Piececool does have a smaller version of the ship, and based on the product images, it looks like it would be significantly easier to assemble than this. It is, however, unpainted, which, I'm going to be honest, in this instance, would be a blessing. The black on black motif here makes it the next best thing to impossible to see what you're doing. Trying to get those tabs into slots when you can't see either the tab or the slot is frustrating, to say the least. It really was not a fun build. It wasn't. I had no joy while completing this build at all. It was tedious. There's a lot of repetition. And the end result, you know, it looks nice like this. It does. Without all that extra rigging, it still looks nice. But it is still not what I would consider to be complete. And there are pieces of it that just seem weird. Now, it does have a display side, and that would be the port side, this side here. You can tell the flag on top has the skull and cross swords. There's these gold sections along the rigging here where you can only get tabs on the back side, but you get the full gold circle on the other. Little bits like that, but I mean, it looks good from either side. A lot of the detail down here is completely invisible. Okay, there's 34 powder kegs along the deck and on the lower deck as well. But the powder kegs are jet black, just like the rest of the ship. So you can't see them. They're just invisible. The sails here are this mesh, so they're completely transparent. I'm not really a big fan of that either. The cannon placement is incredibly weird in some instances. We've got cannons hidden behind some of this netting. Like right here, there's a cannon right behind that. If they try to fire that thing off, it's just going to destroy parts of their own ship. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. There are more openings along the port side here for visibility into the lower deck. But since the lower deck is completely black as well, all of the detail from the stairs to those barrels, it's completely invisible. So even there, you're putting a lot of effort into something that cannot be seen. These anchors are hanging kind of loosely, as are some of these lanterns up here, and the connection is not very stable. The slightest touch and they come off. Now the anchors are easy to put back on. Those lanterns up there are a nightmare to get attached. Everything is so tiny. I mean, I needed a magnifying glass for several parts of this, and the two lanterns on the front side of the ship, well, the midships and towards the bow there, there's insufficient room for them to hang properly, so they're just laying against some of that netting, which creates an even more unstable connection. And Again, another design flaw that could have been corrected, and they chose not to. The order of operations on the assembly, a little weird as well. I think I might have been able to get a lot of this extra rigging in if it had been done before I even put the sails on. And then we just connect it to the hull whenever we do that part, instead of assembling all this and then trying to put the rigging in. And the instructions themselves are printed so small, I had to get a magnifying glass out several times just to read the instructions and make sure I was getting tabs in the correct slots. So, all in all, I mean, it looks decent enough at this stage, but I wouldn't recommend this. You know, get a plastic version of it, get a wood version of it. Maybe see if there's a different metal version of the model. I'm not sure if there is or not. But in the end, you know, as pretty as this is right now, I don't think it was worth the effort. I don't. I'm sad to say that. I really am. And what's more is they consider this to be a 5 out of 7 difficulty. And I got 2 more ships, and I think one of those ships is a 6 out of 7 difficulty, which scares the crap out of me, to be honest with you. And I'm really not looking forward to that. So I've got a couple of Metal Earth Transformer models waiting in the wings here. I may do those just as a palette cleanser before I take out one of the other ships. I don't really have anything I can use as a good size comparison for this. Let me pull out one of the Transformers just so you can see. So here it is next to the Mu model Optimus Prime G1 version. And I mean, you can see the ship is just tiny. Oops, there we go. The ship is just tiny compared to that, and was far more difficult to build. Far more difficult to build. You know, if you like it, if you want it, if you enjoy pain, feel free to pick this up. But for me, I think I'm going to just stick with the Mu models, or excuse me, with the Piececool ship models that I've already purchased, and only because I've spent the money on them already. And I don't think I'll be doing any more after that. Unless you guys like to see me suffer, in which case I'll see if I can find any other Piececool models. But that's about it for now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.